it's like always they say problems sell. It's like if
Mhm.
something goes wrong in your life, that people want to see that. People want to see you fail. People want to see the bad thing because that's what promotes. So you can do a crazy edit with Mr. Beast, but sometimes you can also show a little moment which people connect with. And
Yeah.
it was just funny seeing her so happy. But I was already used to the numbers. It's funny how at one point when you're used to the numbers, they're just numbers. I see things very clearly, and I think this is super important that if you have a vision, you have to see it clearly. So many friends of mine who are like crazy, they're like millionaires now, and I'm like, dude, like
Yeah, yeah.
how? you know?
Don't
And
ever underestimate a person.
Yeah.
A person's drive to make it happen. Never. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Cut. Today we have Fedor, and this conversation was amazing. We talk a lot about the emotions behind content creation and just making art itself. And we actually really dive into how his content has been blowing up recently, from getting like 15 million views within weeks, just from a simple 3-5 second edit. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. If you guys do, please like and subscribe. And also I want to give a special thanks to Uppbeat for sponsoring this video, but more on them later. All right, let's do this. So I'm glad you jumped on. You guys probably recognize him. We did a podcast episode a couple months ago, like 3 months ago. Finally got him on. There's so much things I want to talk about. One, your work, and especially more recently now, because your stuff
Yep.
is going absolutely crazy right now on social media. And I just wanted to talk about that, but I think maybe we'll watch some stuff first. We'll watch some stuff for my audience so they can get familiar with, your videos and your work, and then we'll do some breakdown and we'll talk about all the other stuff. So cool.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Anything specific on here you wanna? Because I feel like I could just pick anything, but if there's anything specific you want to talk about off the bat, off the rip.
Yeah, sure, because it's very different. I do tend to like try different things, and I think that's what I like the most. Not limiting yourself in one thing, but trying different,
Yeah.
styles.
I feel like as a creative director, and I know we're going off track because you're a creative director. That's how I
Yeah,
view you as, because you do so many different things.
yeah,
I guess that's what makes social media good, especially what you're doing now, is that you're trying so many different things, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think especially if you're trying to like find what works for you. For example, we're gonna review that later, but like the postcards, for example,
Yeah,
worked really
like
well for me,
these.
and they're going crazy viral,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Okay.
it's so simple. Like there's like what I want to show is very simple, and how I come up with the ideas, and the
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the postcards then. But I kind of want to preface it, because what I noticed is that you had, okay, sorry, I have my notes here. You had like your short film, right? Like that you did about like 10 months ago, which was this.
yeah, the one on top, you can see it. Yeah,
Okay, let's watch it full length so the audience kind of has an idea. And then I kind of want to
yeah.
just talk about this and how you transition some of your new stuff into this. I don't want to like super flex on everyone, but I do want to show people your website.
It's very simple. I think that's the most important, to keep the website simple. I haven't updated it for a year or two. I've updated the projects, but not the design.
Yeah,
And
that's
the show
okay.
reel is actually, yeah, it's an old one. But the whole idea of a website is that a client goes in and just sees straight the work.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
is the most important, is that you open, you explain what you do, you show the work and nothing else. Because, a lot of people go in depth. It is cool, but if you can show something like simple, and straightforward, it usually works, better, especially for clients who usually don't have the time to review, a website.
Yeah, and I love how like this is the first image you see. It's like it's who you are, but then it's just a full screen of the work that you do.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is actually an old show reel, but
yeah, so you gotta update it. You're busy though, man. Like,
yeah.
holy. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you work with so many people. Tyga, Rehab, Afrojack, Mr. B's, Speed. Obviously, you can see all the work here. This is the one that we're gonna watch right now.
Love doesn't always look like love. Sometimes it looks like fire, burning everything around it.
Bungo in your life right now!
It's trying, failing, and having someone there to support you. Other times, it's silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy kind. Love doesn't always look like love, but it always feels like it. It's freedom, and holding on tighter than you should, even when it's messy, especially when it's messy. Sometimes it's just quiet moments when nothing happens, but it's still everything. It's laughter, that kind that echoes forever. It can look like running, but always finding your way back. So, what does our love look like?
Um, can you tell me like the idea behind this? This is a great short film. And there's so many great visuals.
Thanks,
but the
man.
message
Thank you.
too, I feel like. How did you guys come up with this and get it going?
Man, to be honest, that's like also in all the work that I do, I try to show what I feel, my emotions, so I'm trying to like express how what I feel in the moment. So what I want to, show on screen is what I have in my head. And this was a video that like I came up with. It's all about love, and this is something for me which is it's an important topic. I think I do have again a lot of styles. So we're talking from Mr. Beast to now talking about emotional love videos. So
Yeah.
it's like it's like totally different. But this is what I'm most passionate for, is showing these emotions, and we're gonna get back to that with the postcards later. But this short film was very important for me, and actually it was a big part of my life in a way. It was something so simple, and it was just a message I wanted to share, but it was involved with a moment in my life when I felt like, heartbroken, alone, and I didn't really understand love. And I think for me, if you look at all my work, it's mostly like talking about love and love related. And I still don't understand that in a way that I'm a person, that's trying to understand. And we've all experienced love. You have, I have, and it's different. And there's a lot of like love. The short one was called Love Doesn't Always Look Like Love. So in a way, it is a message that I wanted to show that like, hey, what was our love? And our love didn't look like love, and in a way it was this like sad thing of like our love wasn't love, but also it is more than just love. It's the little things, the little moments. And in that video we show, like I said before, these different emotions, that love is being sad alone, love is being with friends, love is being with your mates, backflipping in the water, love is being in a relationship, love is just like laughing, drinking coffee, observing, walking on the street, dancing on the street. So all these little things is what love is. It's love for a thing, love for a person, love for your job. So I kind of wanted to show that like love is so much. And this is something much shorter, and this is a topic I want to expand in the future, but it is a feature film I have in mind that goes really
Oh,
in depth
okay.
about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. You just said it's about the little moments, right? So,
Yeah.
which is I feel like such a perfect way to describe it. Then I started realizing as I'm watching your videos, you started just recently chopping a lot of these moments up. And like this is a
Yep.
social media game. Like, you have the couple kissing and stuff like that, and showcasing and like lying, the couple lying down on the grass, and then you're posting it on social media in these little moments. And it's absolutely doing so well. And I think it's because the people online agree with that statement of it's about the little moments. And I think when people watch those clips on your Instagram, like it takes them to a place where it's like, oh, I either remember this
Yeah.
or I want this, right?
Yeah, and like you said, that was the whole goal. And why I decided to post them separately is because we've all experienced each thing as like humans. We've experienced the sadness, the grief, the love, the just being the moment of the friends, and each moment. is beautiful in its own way, you know. So if you share it just like how it is, being in the moment, no music, nothing, just the moment, you kind of like really feel it and remember. Like I see so many people sharing their thoughts and their comments, and they're like, ah, this is so good. This is me every morning to work, or this is how I felt for the first time. And I've actually been having some really deep comments of people writing like, "Hey man, this meant a lot for me. Like this actually like changed like a lot. Like it meant a lot that I've seen it and I reflected about my life and I remembered the moment that I had and I remember that like life is more." And I was like, wow. So people love these simple things because it is at the end like the beauty in the small things, you know, not overcomplicating sometimes. So you can do a crazy edit with Mr. Beast, but sometimes you can also show a little moment which people connect with.
That's exactly it. The little moments. And like obviously the hype edits are great and it shows the different styles. But then I'm starting to realize, especially with like your stuff, I'm like, man, especially that audience. I'm reading the comments too. I'm like, people are connecting from all over the world. And okay, we'll explain to my audience what it looks like because they might just be like, what are you guys talking about? So obviously we just watched that short, but then you started posting like, little clips from it, even dating back here, but even like stuff like this, right? This is
Yep.
from that. Uh and it's just these
And as
scenes.
you can see, there's a little story which I noticed in each postcard you see. I think is there such a thing if you can go into Reels section on the
Oh yeah, the
computer? I don't
reels? Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
On the top, basically, you can see these postcards. They're all the top posts, everything, all this line and the top line. These are all postcards, nearly everything. But if
Yeah.
you go even at each, starting from like here, the sunset one, it didn't go so viral, but the caption is something that I felt sharing, for example, and the moment. So it's something that I had a throwback of, and that's why I decided to recreate this moment. I wanted to show it,
Mm.
and people did connect with it. And if you can see the next one, for example, that we shared, this is like from this one, it just went viral. Each of them just
Okay.
went, you
This was
know.
the one that I obviously it comes to my feed and I'm like, okay, whoa,
Yeah.
this is crazy. It's crazy how love can turn a random street corner into the only place in the world. Uh this one went absolutely viral, right? And then
Yeah.
it's funny because like the video maybe after, and I don't know how long it was between this one you posted and the one with you in Paris. Where yeah, were you guys at a museum? You and your girlfriend, or
Oh man, that one blew up. So many
okay,
pages of news. It's crazy.
yeah, okay. So from my perspective, as like a fan, as a viewer, so this goes viral. Everyone, this goes absolutely viral. It's from his short film that he did a year ago, 10 months ago, and then what pops up on my page is this. So you can see that this one got like almost
They're
half a
all pretty
million.
much, yeah,
They're all
crazy.
almost like half a mil to a million. It's in between there. And then this cut pops up. And then you know what's so funny? Okay, actually let's play the hopefully we can play the music cuz the music really helps the vibe. It's literally like what, 5 seconds maybe?
Yeah, and
Um
let me tell you, that's the thing. I shared a story, you know, and this is, and I'm talking from perspective from like what I want to share, but also from a business perspective, you know, as a producer, it's this is what people want to see, and this is also, first of all, it comes from, you know, kind of like how cliche, from my heart, you know, it comes from something I want to share. The story is real. Every postcard that I do is real, but it's not just, it's not like, hey, I'm just like filming different scenes and I'm posting them. Each of them, you know, means something to me. And this one was so real that like I told a story. So this video doesn't only like, it's a simple video, you know, it's just, you know, a couple kissing with the Monet painting, but the story that is behind it, you know, that it was just a random moment. And then the coincidence also, of course, of the older couple passing by, you know,
Yeah.
uh that was like a funny moment because there was a comment that said also like, hey, this is like them in the future or something. So I think,
Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Like this.
yeah.
That's interesting.
um but basically each of these postcards, they transmit a little emotion. In this case, it's a sad blue hour painting and a very intimate moment,
Mm.
of a couple in a museum. And it's just a little moment that people are connect with and wish like maybe they were there, this painting. But this one, I it's just a surprise. To be honest, I didn't
You
expect
didn't
for it
think
to
it was
go
gonna
viral. So
blow up? You're gonna be on
no,
everyone's
no.
For You page,
I
dude.
I didn't even want to post it, but
Yeah, okay, because it was. This was so interesting to me, and I really wanted to message you when it happened, but I was like, let's wait until I jump on.
yeah.
Because if someone jumps on your page, they might not even know this is you, to be honest. Because do you know what I mean? It's all your work.
Yeah, yeah, of
It's all,
course. Yeah.
and then because you're posting postcards so consistently, this felt like it was an insert into that video.
That was the
Oh,
goal. Yeah.
which is actually so crazy. I love that it came from somewhere genuine, and there was a story you wanted to be told, and you said you just gave your camera to a stranger.
Yeah. It was like a Korean, like two Korean girls, and we just walked up. We're like, hey, it's already recording. They're super nice, and it just like held it, and we just got the moment. You can see the camera is a bit shaky, but yeah,
But
it's just the
I love,
moment. It's just capturing the
yeah,
moment. That's it. So,
I love that though. Even the shakiness of it, it's like it
yeah,
actually
yeah,
adds a
yeah.
little bit more to it. So as from like a producer, director, creative mind, were you walking by? Did you see the painting? Did you feel the painting? And then you told obviously your girlfriend, you're like, hey, can you come here? Can you do this? Did you tell her what you were gonna do, or were you guys just there and then you just went for it?
It was just, hey, can we get like a photo together, But of course, I had my FX3 with me, and I just, recorded on it on the video mode. I was like, yeah, let's just get something for, for memory. And we didn't want to awkwardly stand with thumbs up, So
Yeah, yeah.
we were just speaking. And actually, it's funny because some people in the video noticed we hug, and then she says, I love you. With You can read her lips.
Okay.
So it was just a very, real moment. And I think actually after this video, I had a lot of clients reach out regarding promoting tracks through postcards because people see potential of like, hey, this is a real moment. Why not promote their
Ah.
track? And I did close a few clients, and I'm in discussion for a lot of artists who just want to cross promote their track through my content, artistic content. And it's amazing that like this something I love turned out into something I can make money from. This is something that I'm aiming for in a way that I do a lot of things. And also like working with a big team and having a production company, I am open always for big projects, but showing emotions and actually being able to make a living from it, this is like something a director dreams of, so
It's actually unbelievable. And were you guys here for like vacation? Like you guys were just
yeah.
here. You guys were here for work? Because I know you guys work
Yeah,
together. Like you do some work.
we do work a lot with my girlfriend together. And
Yeah.
this was just a trip, surprise trip for her because she deserves it. So
Oh man. How did she feel
yeah.
about this especially when it went viral? Because you weren't expecting it to do this, the numbers. She probably wasn't either. Wha-
Yeah, I was like, yeah, of course she got like a bunch of followers from it, and then she was like, like check my phone plus 10K likes, and then like, oh, check again plus 10K likes. Oh, now plus 10. And
Yeah,
it was just funny seeing her so happy. But I was already used to the numbers. It's funny how at one point when you're used to the numbers, they're just numbers.
absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of even want to talk about that. I know we're jumping all over the place, but I feel like it's just natural for
Yeah,
the
no.
conversation to happen. It is just numbers at a certain point. There's so much people that chase it. And what's crazy is like, I'm so envious of you because the comments that you get are so thoughtful. It's like it actually feels like people are there. I think a lot of my content too, and like, I have a bunch of followers, but it feels a little empty only because I know it's very transactional. It's like people just want their work to be promoted or seen. And obviously it's not my own content, so I get it. So this year I'm like making it a habit to try to actually make my own content, or like at least be more in front of the camera doing my own thing, because this is what I want. I want people to be
Yeah.
commenting like these crazy amount of emotions and feelings and opinions. Um but it is just numbers, like, at
Yeah.
a certain point.
The people who chase numbers usually don't tend to go the right direction. They might chase them and get there, but it is a bit different. But if you're just like, if you have a vision, an idea, and like, hey, I want to share this because like I put in the effort and this is something I truly like, and I just want to get it out there. I'm not gonna chase for numbers. It's gonna eventually, blow up. It's gonna pay off, And I think once you understand how social media works, myself as a creative director, I do work with social media a lot. So it is I understand, and there's a trick, and there's a few things that I know about how to make a video go viral,
Mm.
and it is like briefly on Instagram, it's very simple. First
Okay, break
second.
it down. Break it down.
That's it. First second. So, first second, why would someone stay? For example, I'm referencing your videos. Usually, the ones that go viral is when the first second you pop, you do something.
Yeah.
It could be, again, like you've seen any filmmaker break down, it could be from a snap, like I do, or it could be from a crazy effect, Mr. Beast transition, or the ball VFX 3D.
Yeah.
So, two options, you're trying to ASMR with sound effects and, have that hook in the beginning, or crazy visuals, or it has to be like a crazy shout, or if we're on a podcast, and then you just go like, yo, that's a cool way to start, because
Yeah.
that's how social media works. If you don't get that hook in the first second, then it's pretty hard for the people, the retainers, to stay past the 3 seconds. And these postcards, what I'm trying to do is, of course, keep them short and repetitive, but also something that gets you hooked in the beginning. So cinematically, of course, is beautiful. All the shots, the structure, the color. So, but as well, first thing, the caption, the first image, everything is unique. So in a way, I have a lot of postcards of someone like maybe smoking a cigarette on the wall, standing like this, super cool. But that wouldn't go viral because it's not that hook. It's not the right thing. But maybe a
Mm.
couple kissing in the corner is something you see and you're, maybe more intrigued. So I was testing out a lot of things, and it's all about like testing out and analyzing what works for you. You have your own content, so you can all review what you have and just like, kind of see what worked for you in the past and try to repeat that more, and maybe try different ways of editing the hooks, as well as keeping the videos shorter, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I actually started recently just doing that. I actually found moments where it was like a shock or a surprise or a transition that I reacted to, which was later on in the video, and then I would cut that and then add it to the beginning. And I still think that there's like obviously work to be done. I think yeah, having them shorter. The only thing is like I love videos so much
Mhm.
that I know the ones that do really well are the ones that are Mr. Beast hype level transitions, crazy effects and stuff like that. Which is like, I love it, but I
Yeah.
also love this. Like I love
Yeah.
the slow pacing, the
Yeah.
the written words. But the thing is I know my audience, it's hard for them to connect with that.
Yeah, and
Which is
that's
a
why I think.
double-edged sword.
Yeah, and I feel you because the thing is that that's again, if you want to connect with your audience through, for example, cinematic content, storytelling, something emotional, or going in depth, you have to connect on a personal level. So if there's something we're talking about, your audience would rather hear, it's like always they say problems sell, you know. It's like if
Mhm.
something goes wrong in your life, that people want to see that, you know. People want to see you fail, people want to see the bad thing, because that's what promotes, you know. If you they want to hear the struggle, they want to because people connect with that, and it's a way for them to gain, you know, experience and exchange knowledge. So if we are, for example, that's why I'm trying to like share these postcards in an emotional way where people connect emotionally. Same with podcasts. I would, for example, watch a podcast where two people are talking, for example, about struggle on a certain topic, you know.
Mhm.
Then maybe someone like talking about like 3D effect. That's for me because I like to hear personal stories, you know. And
Yeah, yeah.
but there's, I think it's all about like trying different topics, testing what works, you know, but getting the most interesting out of it, you know. So
Yeah, I'm still trying to like fight the worst is I'm still trying to fight the algorithms, right? Because sometimes, well, a lot of the times the conversations I love, like this conversation that we're having is so different from a lot of the conversations I have because,
yep.
you know, the videos my audience wants to watch is like the cool, and you have a lot of it, right? You have a lot of the hype videos and the cinematography is
It's
great.
I know what you mean. It's different, yeah.
Yeah, but me and you are literally talking about the feeling of a video that you posted about you, which is the most interesting to me. Um, so, you know, I'm also very selfish. I'm like, I want to talk to Fedor about this. Like this, I knew I wanted to talk to you about this. So yeah, we'll see. I think it's just testing out with social media. It's always testing it out. I feel like you're
I
always
think it will
testing around.
work for you. Yeah, 100%. It's like testing out, playing around, seeing what works. You know, it's not like it's gonna work in a second. You gotta push
Yeah.
nonstop. You know, but what will work really good for you is starting each video with a question, you know, a rhetorical question or a question, and every time you're asking something, you should focus on that. I think for any conversation, that's the most important. So any question that you know, you bring it over, it has to be straightforward and direct. So like, what did you feel when you made this, or like how, but it has to be in a way that like, hey, like well thought out, you know. So
Yeah.
like the short film love doesn't always look like love. You kind of like, okay, tell me what love looks like, you know. So you kind of like want to drop that line where you're like, where you say something that the audience who see this for the first time wants to find out. For like, I do see a lot of interviews of celebrities, which we always see, but sometimes first thing there's a question: how hard was it for you to jump off this? And then you're like,
Mm.
Okay, let me hear about it." So it is a good. I haven't seen it maybe too much, but starting with a question is a good way to start a podcast. You know.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's also about me thinking about it from a bigger production standpoint because when these are being edited, the conversations are so slow and I get into a question and it might be mixed up. But I think after the shorts are edited, I should come back, sit down like this, and then give multiple hooks per.
Also, yeah.
So I would
Or
record.
you can
Yeah,
repeat yourself also.
that's
You
what I
can
mean.
also,
It's
for
like
example, you come up with something with me, you can just go and ask that question twice. Like, hey, let me ask this better. Then,
yeah.
and then, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. The only thing is like I got to figure out how the shorts are going to go. It actually probably work well that I'm like if I dress up like this again and I say, "Fader, you hit 1.4 million views on a video that you're in." Boom. And then that I feel like is a good hook. Or I could try
yeah.
multiple hooks and test it out. That might be a better
Check out,
strategy.
you know,
Yeah,
Car Shakur maybe also.
yeah, yeah. College record great
Yeah. So,
for sure.
these kind of videos where he always like drops something in the beginning, he like
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then he goes into the video. And there was another guy, I don't remember his name, but they're really good at the intros and hooks. At the end, like the intro and the hook is the most important thing you need on a reel on Instagram. And I think you should steal and take a lot of references from people, because at the end you learn, you test different things. You cannot stay to one thing. You should try a lot of things, a lot of intros, try fast cuts, try a rhetorical question, try text, try this, and see what works best for you. Because
Mm.
for every video there's a different approach, and once you find it, you kind of stick to it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, you're right. I'm definitely gonna play more around with it after. because I don't play the game as much as I should, the social media game, just because I'm like, you know what, conversations, I mean, just get content out. But I think focusing more on playing to the platform might be better.
And I think one other thing is cool if you check with people you're interviewing questions in advance. That's cool. Also, some things, some topics, because maybe then you can plan out like a few days in advance. Like, what are some key points? How can we make this interesting for the audience? You know.
Yeah, and I that's what I because I do research and like I have like a ton of questions here for you, but I think now it's about, like you said, structuring it in a way where what is the most interesting conversation, or like how can I get
Exactly. Yeah.
Fedor to react the way I want him to react. And I think that's better for me as like a host. I think that will actually improve my game as a host to be asking these questions that will get the most out of the guest. It's
But
great.
I mean, I love what you do, and it's interesting to always see. You know, your videos always pop up, so I always see them,
Yeah.
and it was cool. It's cool because I've seen them like 2, 3 years ago, maybe also because they keep popping up, and I'm always like watching like what other creators do. So it is interesting how like everyone is just very different with their own approaches and styles, you know. And I think that's going back to what I said before. I do have like a niche that I like, you know, at the end, everything I do, I want to try emotions. So even with the 3D effects, there's an emotion there because it gives you like this wow effect. But you
Mm,
know, if you find a niche, the most important is it's basically that finding your niche, you know, and sticking to it. And I found a niche that works for me, and I just keep going, you know, with it.
yeah. What is that niche specifically that works for you?
Basically, showing emotions, making the audience feel something, you
Yeah.
know, either through crazy 3D effects or emotional content talking about love, you know.
It's cool because there's so many like techniques to draw emotion. There's like the music is one thing, right? Like, and you said it sometimes it is like the grade. Like there are certain colors that make people feel something. Like there's a science behind it. It's like
Yep.
why. It's also like a very conscious choice. It's like why did you decide to wear this green? Why did I do? Like there's very specific things, which is really really cool. If you are a creator looking to level up your content and make it a little bit more cinematic, check out Uppbeat. They actually have aesthetic LUTs, they have premium scores, all on a solo creator budget. So if you guys want your content to maybe look a little bit more like Fedor's, check out the link in the description or in the pinned comment, and then let me know what you guys think. I appreciate it. They've been amazing, and they've leveled up my content a lot within the last year. So check them out. Now, let's get back into the video. As a creative director for projects, is it a different approach? Let's say you're doing something for at a festival or a DJ. Um, Rehab, I know that you're doing a lot. Great visuals for all the stuff that's coming out. I was talking to Jin like about it, and
Hmm.
he's
Yep.
excited, and he's like, as opposed to a short film like the one we just watched. Uh, is there a different approach because the vibes are different, or is it still what's the best emotion? How do we start from there?
You know, luckily artists and creatives and entrepreneurs and anyone in the sphere, any public figures, they are pushing more into raw organic content. So it is actually something that is really good because the world is switching. What you've seen a few years ago was the crazy maybe effects and transitions. Right now, people want to see the authentic you. They want to see your life. They want to see the behind the scenes. They want to see something simple. For example, even for Rehab, the album cover that like I came up with, it was something so melancholic and dreamy of just him sitting on the bed, a floating bed mattress in the water, you know, and just floating. So we create this dreamy kind of look, and it's something emotional. It's just the album cover itself. It just tells like a story, and I think that's what how it connects with my work, you know, showing emotions and like telling stories basically through show visuals, through tour content. So I was right now. I just came from Paris 2 days ago, and I was shooting for a big client that I cannot disclose yet,
Yeah,
but
no
it is a
worries.
big client, and he said like, man, I just want like to be myself, you know. I've got all these expensive things, you know. I've got the PJ, this and that, but this is not what I want to show, you know. I
Mm,
want to show myself, my life, you know, behind the scenes. I want to like show art, creative. So, and this is what a lot of artists that I've been talking to are, you know, are going for. They just want to be themselves, you know, and they want to connect as much with their audience. And
yeah,
this is amazing because it's something um, it's not easy, you know, because for a lot of public figures, it's not easy to be themselves, you know, especially if they've been in business for a while. That's why I try to come in here and do these things, do the organic content, the composition of the shots, you know, the way of editing through sound design, through fast and slow cuts, keeping the tension, doing this like, you know, roller coaster emotional ride for the viewer. So that is something, you know, that I like and that I do for myself, for clients, and you know, it
yeah.
combines. So
I'm starting to see that a lot more. It's like the more and more people want to be themselves. And just in terms of content creators in general, over the last couple of years, streamers have
yeah,
obviously been such a big thing. And I think it's because they feel the most authentic to people. Because imagine being in front of a camera for like even 4 hours. It's hard to like perform and be
yeah.
someone else for 4 hours. And then you start to see a lot of celebrities and more artists trying to emulate that or just wanting to be themselves. And obviously you're showing it with your work and you're like, okay, there's this feeling I'm with the person I love and I want to showcase that. And we talked about this before, that about mental health. I think that stems a lot from like you don't feel like yourself. And I don't know if you've ever had hurdles there and stuff that you've had to overcome, but I know that's something that we were talking about because you know my audience is a little younger and it is tough sometimes for them to get over certain things, especially with social media being so dominant in their lives.
It is a very like you know, big topic, and there's a lot you can discuss, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
regarding because you always compare yourself, you know, you always look at others, and I think mental health is very important, especially in the art world. You know, it's like I'd say three things that I learned the most would be like staying calm in any situation, which is basically like patience. It's number one thing that I'd say for any creator, whatever goes wrong, especially if you're a director or a producer, you know, learn to be patient, learn to be calm, learn, you know, to take it slow. Whatever happens, house is burning, or, you know, SD card was formatted, or something happened, just stay calm, find a solution, break it down. This is number one, you know, and it really helps as in like mental health. You cannot imagine how life gets easier when you take it slow in hard situations, you know. Um I think this is a key to success, you know. However this sounds, it is key to success. It is a bit of like this I don't give a fuck mentality of like, I don't care, I'll find a way out, you know? So
Yeah.
it is important that you kind of like stop, break down. It's in the past, it happened. How do I fix this? And this is how you see and find a good producer, a good manager, a good creative director. It's someone who finds a solution for you. You know, so if there is a problem, if the team doesn't work, if this doesn't work, something goes wrong, you find a solution, and this is your job to like find option A, option B, option C. Be prepared. And
Yeah.
going back to mental health, you know, it is hard because a lot of people, and I was like that, like referencing myself, I was always stressed. If something went wrong, I would go crazy. I would like hate myself. I'd be like, this, like, I'm not made for this job. I won't go anywhere. And I think at just one point I got to the lowest point of my life when I was like, okay, I cannot go lower. I need to evaluate, my things, my world, how I look at things. And then it just happened, I started to, instead of you know, looking at the past, looking at the future. So whenever something went wrong, I would break it down as in it happened. Now I need to fix this.
Yeah.
And this is the number one is patience. Let's say number two is finding a solution. Always look for different solutions. Always try find like different approaches, different views. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Try different things. It is complicated in the beginning. But I'd say because I was like this, at a younger age, and it's not. I mean, I'm still starting out. There's still a big road ahead. But the most important is to just always keep going, no matter what. Don't let your emotions like eat you up. Um, Embrace your emotions. So basically, why I do these short films, why I show these emotions, is because I want to show that it is something normal. If you are emotional, if you're going through something, if you lost a person or something went wrong, you're in your worst phase of life, just, it is a part of your life, but it shouldn't affect your life. You should review it, break it down, think about it, take your time, but do not let it eat you because I felt that, and it's not good, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
So be more aware, be more aware of everything. And in this profession, especially in the art industry, whatever position you are in, it is crazy because there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stress,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if
Yeah.
you're going for the high budget projects. You need to learn that.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so you talked about patience and like problem solving as number two. What's number three?
Make it happen, whatever it is, whatever you like. So I have this tattoo here that says make it happen.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
great. That's all I was
And
hearing when I was in, like, everyone's just like, make it happen. Make it happen.
yeah,
You
it
just
is.
gotta whatever you gotta do.
Whatever happens to you or like whatever you want to do, just make it happen because how crazy it sounds, you can do it. You
Yeah,
just have to
I believe
do
that
it.
100%.
If you want to make a viral video and make your own short film or show an emotion or something you want to do, you don't need a crazy camera, you don't need a budget, you just have to make it happen. That's it. There's no excuses. If you want it, you can do it. And I'm not a privileged person, and I want to say that like anyone can do it in a way that I started by myself, started like saving out some money, buying my
11
first
years
like
ago. Yeah,
buying my first Nikon. I was shooting on this potato.
yeah. God, that's
No,
crazy.
I was making videos on the Nikon for years, and then I started like some boring jobs like filming restaurants and stuff like that, which were like actually it's not like what you think, filming restaurants like a cinematic ad. No, it was just like some like shitty work that I had to do. And I was started saving up money and just like growing slowly, and it's been a whole crazy journey of mine, for so many stages that I went through. Um, but I always made it happen, man. And I was just talking with my girlfriend the other day. I see things very clearly. And I think this is super important that if you have a vision, you have to see it clearly. And
Mm.
we're talking right now, it's my first podcast, and it's kind of like very awkward for me, but we're just like chilling, we're just
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
So, but sharing as a friend to a friend, for me, it was always super clear. It's just the beginning, and there's so much more yet to come because I know it's gonna happen. It's just the mentality that you should have. Hey, man, you got this. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna do this. I've got this. I see it. I'm rich. I'm successful. I'm this, that, that, that. So it is, for me, I learned it also not easily. It was a whole journey to get there. But I do believe in, like, man, if you want to make it happen, you can make it happen. You just gotta see it, you gotta envision it, and you got this. Like, you gotta truly believe in it. So it's like, if you believe it, if you see it, if you can envision it, if most important, if you just do it. Don't stop. Like, it takes years. For me, I started 11 years ago when I was like a kid, and I'm
Yeah,
still not
yeah.
there. These like huge engagement that I have, which is crazy. It's like 15 million like views on the account, in a week. But this is just numbers. What I want is, I want to like share my art, do more, and things happen step by step. It's a journey. So.
Do you have any advice for someone who doesn't have that clear vision? Like, there's so much people who are at a point in their life where it's like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. There's like an itch, and I don't know if you've ever had that because you seem like such a driven person. But there's a lot, even me in my life. Sometimes there's like moments where I'm like, I want something more, but I don't know what it is. Like, what do you do at that point?
Because I was like that too, and I have a brother who's like that. I know people who are like that. It's not easy, and I know I'm lucky in a way that, like, I knew and I know what I want. But it is true that a lot of people are still looking for their thing. But I think it's important to, you'll find it. Eventually you'll find it 100%. You'll find your thing, you'll find what you want. But it is a matter of, hey, you gotta like live life a little bit, try out different things, don't, and most importantly, get out of your comfort zone. And that is number one, because I see childhood friends and like colleagues who want something, but it's not clear, and they're stuck in their comfort zone. And you just gotta get out of your comfort zone, leave your parents' house. Get a like ticket to Bali and live on $300 a month. Because you can, trust me. If you say you don't have money, bro, just work as a waiter, go to Bali, find, I don't know, like, you can do that.
Make it happen.
So yeah, you just make it happen. But for me, leaving to, for example, I lived in Bali in Indonesia for 3 years, and I
Oh
moved
shit.
there. Yeah, I moved there at an age when I was 18 to 21, and for me, it
What a
was a very hard
crazy.
age. It was like a changing period of my life.
Oh
So
my god, 18
basically,
to 21, yeah, for sure. That's
in a
crazy,
way,
yeah.
I grew up there. That's where and I was really lost. When I came there, I had no money, and that's why I came there initially, because it was so cheap. I moved to Bali because for me it was an opportunity to do whatever I want and live on some saved up money that I had, because it was so cheap, especially back then when I moved there in 2019, 20. And I was really lost, but I started connecting with people. I started
Uh,
with photography, fashion shoots, making videos. Sometimes I was like storyboarding, writing scripts. I was really like traveling, taking like a car and going to the mountains. I was really trying to find myself. And I did go through like a lot of like lonely moments, reflection, a lot of shit in my head. And even though it was, I was in paradise, but I didn't feel like paradise for me. And I think I really found what I wanted there, because I had the freedom of living life a bit. Like,
huh.
I had the freedom of experiencing life, and then trying to find what I enjoy the most. So I'd say for anyone who's stuck and doesn't know what to do and how to move on, try find a way to get out of your comfort zone. Whereas leaving to a neighbor town, moving to a city 2 hours away, or going abroad to Bali or Australia to travel, it will change your life. And you only live once, and how cliche does it sound, you gotta try
Yeah.
these things, and that is the best way to find yourself, is by like traveling and experiencing different things. And my style, the cinematography and the stories I tell all come from experience, from the shit that I went through, and the the emotions that I felt. If it wasn't for that journey, I wouldn't be able to tell these things.
It's like to experience different feelings and then to showcase the feelings. Like,
Yep. And
you
what you're
know?
saying, like, man, you want to go to Korea and like Thailand and like South Asia or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like so cool. Just make sure to not, don't get stuck in your world of like, hey, I'm here to create content. You're there to live, and
Experience
experience
life.
life.
For sure. For sure. It's
And this is
definitely
what happened with that viral video of like that went like 250, like it's going crazy. The viral video of me and my girlfriend in the museum. It was just like there was no intention. It was just us being in the moment. It was just like
that's
this like
it's
little
still
moment.
incredible thinking about it. The
Yeah.
moment, it's I don't even know how long it actually is, but that's how much a moment that's how long a moment could be. And a feeling that universally millions of people could feel. That say in
Yeah.
those I don't know, 3 seconds. It's wild. Um I don't know, perfect combination.
I think it is really, yeah, just the beginning, and I'm still trying to find myself in a way, but the vision is there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It has to be, right? And I think the
Yeah.
finding yourself is such a good thing because it forces you to chase different different things and try different things. Because imagine you just knew like what you wanted, which is a great thing to know what you want. But I think the experimentation with content, with creativity, with like who you are, um, just makes for better content for sure.
It's like the saying that like I know what I want, but I don't know how I'm gonna get there. You know?
And I'm just going. And I think that's now that I know you went to Bali at 18, it makes
Yeah.
sense how you are, where it's like I know I'm looking for something. So
Yeah.
but I don't know which direction, so let's just go. Let's just go out and look for it, which is such a cool way to go about it.
And talking about what we said, the most important like qualities on like mental health wise, you know, it all, everything is so connected. Life, personal life and work. It's very important, you know, if you are calm and you find solutions and you get out of your comfort zone in life, your projects are going to be like that. You're going to do them professionally, calmly. You're going to try find solutions, new
Mm-hmm.
ideas, be creative, and you're going to make it happen no matter what. Whatever budget they give you 5K or 50K, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So it is very connected, the personal life and how you think and the way you work. And that's why it's so important, to first, before anything, focus on your life, because your life will depend on how you work. So it is very important that you realize, learn about yourself, like, who you are, what you want to do, how I approach things, like kind of like take yourself out of your body and look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the person you want to be, and try to become the perfect version of yourself. There's no such a thing as a perfect version of yourself. We're not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. There's a lot of things that I hate, about myself and about what I do. But I embrace it. It's just me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, it is really connected. Emotions, work, and just the way, for me, actually, it's so easy to close a client and to work with clients, because I just connect very easily with anyone.
Mm.
So it is very easy for me to lock in a certain budget or a concept or idea, because I understand, I analyze the situation, what the client wants, what the client needs. I find different approaches, different solutions. Um, so it's not I need them. I need the money, I need the client. It's they need me because I'm trying to, bring them something. And that is important that, because they notice it, your clients who you're looking for, and the pitches, the outreach you're doing, people notice that. And that's why it's so important, mental health and the way you approach things, and the structure, and the treatments, the proposals. All this is a big part. For me, it's actually the pre-production is the biggest part, for me when it
Yeah.
comes to like,
You find that that's, yeah, the biggest part, probably the most important part, you would say?
yeah, I would say so. I would say it's the pre-production 100%.
Okay. Um, because like from my perspective, yeah, because you work on such big projects, how 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 do you step up in project, and like actual bigger productions in budget? Like what? Because obviously you started on a Nikon shooting on like a potato, and then you get your first couple clients, but it's like, how do you ask for more money? Like, how do you get clients to jump on board with the vision that you have, where it's like, this is gonna be great, it's gonna cost this much, and then how do you deal with clients that are like, nah, Fedor, there's no way, and you're like, okay, but it's gonna be it's gonna be good. Like, what are the steps from going from Nikon potato to traveling the world and doing all these things?
And this is what we're talking about. It's confidence and making it happen, because you just know you can do it in a way that you step up your game by being confident in your work and actually valuing your work. When I was shooting on a Nikon, I was 17 years old. I would just be shooting, if a client would say, I would say, hey, the budget is 1K, and the client would say, oh, I'll pay you $100. I'd say, okay. So I didn't value my work. I didn't like whatever the client says, he's right. In this case, right now, as a professional working with different clients, I do know what's right. And even if the client has their own view, I stand on my perspective, because I know this is my value, I know this is my work, this is my price. So this is how I want to work. And it's crazy how it might sound crazy, but once you start valuing yourself, more clients will reach out to you,
Mm.
because it's the confidence that you have. So once you don't lower your rates, it takes a few rejections, maybe a few months of failures, but once it starts, it just keeps going up. Like,
Isn't it weird how that happens? Like, it's like the more you start
it's
valuing yourself,
crazy, I
yeah,
know.
it's
Yeah,
it's like a magnet.
yeah.
So weird.
And that's how they say, like the rich get richer because they're already rich. They don't care.
The
So,
confidence in
and I
getting
noticed
rich,
that
yeah, yeah,
it's crazy. And I really, because I've been surrounded with a lot of rich people, a lot of successful people, and number one thing that I learned about them is the confidence that they have, and I don't give a fuck mentality of like, yeah, like whatever. And once you realize, hey, I have this value, I have my style, I'm unique, things will just keep coming. But of course you do have to put in the effort. It's not like I'm shooting on an icon and I'm gonna be like, hey, yeah, this project is gonna be 20K.
yeah.
That's
There's
that's not how it
steps.
works.
There's steps to it
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
yeah.
But
And most importantly, I'd say, if you're starting out and you're missing out a portfolio, you're missing out these projects. Don't wait for an opportunity. Do it yourself, make them happen. Fake it until you make it. And this is a thing I lived up to. Like,
yeah,
this is
me
what
too.
changed my life. So it's very important.
It's like I don't know. That amount of confidence is like not unhealthy, but it's like you kind of need that, where you're just, I could do it, and I'm gonna do it, no matter what. You have so much more work. We only watched like the short film, but I think it was such an important thing to talk about. But
Yeah.
it's cool.
And I think like this is the thing about, like, even if you look on my Instagram page, like most of the projects I have, like even the one, because I got an eye candy feature on my birthday, I woke up and
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, accept collabs. you
Yeah,
know
that was so cool.
um
We'll bring it
but
up.
that video, a few videos that if you go down and check out, for example, even more, a little bit slightly more. For example, the
This
dancers, you see like the
this one
ballet,
was
yeah, these ones.
oh so good. Because I couldn't find it anywhere else like other than on your page.
Yeah,
So
because it was just a video filmed on the beach with a friend,
oh, so this
and
isn't like part of a bigger
no,
like
you know, oh,
project?
here's a little story. Here's a little story. So this video blew up. Eye candy feature a lot of
Yeah.
reposts, went crazy viral. People were like, "Wow, insane!" So here's the backstory. I was bored on a day, and I was reviewing my own footage. This was shot 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I was like, hey man, I gotta like post something. My social media is growing, but like I'm stuck here on like so many gigs. I have so many like projects right now, but I cannot post anything. And I found these
Just
shots which were done 2 years ago or 3 years ago in Bali with my friend that we did collaboration with, and I edited this within hours. I just locked in a vision. Uh, I had these. There's no birds. All the birds are VFX. So
okay,
all
I
the
was
birds
gonna
you
ask
see
you
are
that. I was
added
like, how
in.
did you
Yeah,
get it so perfect? Yeah.
yeah. Basically, it is emotional video. We're going back to like, hey, I love showing emotions,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
show something emotional. And we had a few scenes on the beach, and then we had the scene shot in Moscow in the big ballet, the Большой Theater, the big theater,
Yeah.
and
This
we shot a few jumps. Basically, only two jumps. You can see it's the same
the
jump but
same.
inverted. You
These
know,
two and then these, yeah.
yeah. And the birds were added in the beginning because it was a perfect. They're actually bats that I added in, and
What?
because in
This?
Bali is popular for the bats, and it just felt so right to add it there. The way he just shouts and the birds and the sound effects.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like that. The silhouette, like actually, hold
Yeah,
on.
and then I
This
added,
might
of
be
course,
loud.
the
Hold
radio
on.
blur
Oh,
to
you
give it
did it.
like the
Yeah, to keep it. That's what makes it look.
to keep it real. So
Exactly,
yeah,
because like you could see like the blur around. So if you didn't add that, obviously it would look so out
yeah,
of place. You know.
yeah.
But but you also talk about it. We talked about the first second of a video needs to be like
That's the hook. That's the hook, man. That's why it blew up because
nice.
it's the first second. Yeah. And you go back also to another video that I have, which was, I think, the Mars one. I'll show you two more, yeah. So this is the Mars one.
Okay, hold
And
on.
it's
Sorry.
just, yeah.
I don't mean microbial life, but I mean actual intelligent, like human life on Mars at one time. Mars.
Dang.
There's a hook. The hook is like, hey, we shot this in Java, in the mountains in Indonesia. So this is all the footage is real. Everything we shot ourselves. And it's like a volcanic area in eastern Java, on an island in Indonesia with this local guy. We paid him to ride a horse, and there's a hook, man. Mars. That's
Hmm.
it. Mars. You're hooked. Like, what are you gonna show me? What is this crazy world? And that is the thing. Each video that I try to make, I create a world. Any project that we try to do is a new world. So it is all about creating different worlds that people, the audience, experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the audio.
Possibility that there could have been. I don't mean microbial life.
Like, where's this from?
Intelligent, like human life on Mars at one time.
Yeah. So I took this from a YouTube video. I was like, hey, Mars. It was funny because this looks like Mars. Should I just like make it orange? And I was like, maybe I can find an audio. And I went on YouTube. I was like, Mars interview. And the first video popped up. It was like a guy talking about Mars. And it just fitted so well. I was like, okay, let's take it. Let's go. So
Um,
every video, and like the video before, it was done
intention.
within 4 hours. This was done within few hours, and the idea came on the spot. All the ideas were just improvised unexpectedly. For me also, a big part is sound design. For me, sound design is key. First thing I do always is find the track, find the sound design, and then build the video itself. So I do start with a lot of sound designing. I do build, for example, already a track of sound design, and then I look for a song. I look for the clips of how I'm gonna make the cuts. But a lot of times when I do transitions or effects, I do sound design first because music is a very important part, in my life, and I do connect with music, with sound design better. I have a clearer vision when I hear the song,
Mm.
when I see something. So it does help me a lot to get that first always.
A lot of people are like that, and it's cool how a lot of creatives, visual creatives, start with the audio first, and there's something
Yeah,
about it. I think ever since we were younger, it's like I've always loved music. I've always loved just music in general. It just does something to you, or it takes you back to a certain place, or it makes you feel
it's like a
something.
feeling. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So good.
And yeah, and then we started making these projects, like the one with the eye on the top. Yes, you can see another viral one. It has like an eye.
This
I think this one. Yeah, it was just a fun project that we did. Yeah.
this is just like off the cuff. You were like, huh? Let's just do
And
this.
yeah, we were like, um, I wanted to do something. Again, I have times when I work a lot and I just want to do something passionate. And in this case, I was like, hey, why not just do something emotional? And the whole idea was, hey, let's walk out on the hill here in Barcelona with my friend and shout, show a crazy emotion, get all this anger out. And it was a perfect, again, like the way I choose the actors I work with. As you can see, the casting is always on point. Either it is the guy like, dancing to the music or the couple kissing. In this case, this actor is a very talented actor, and he did go through a hard time, and he did break up, and it was an emotion he wanted to share, and we really connected. And we decided to tell this little story of a breakup and of his flashbacks with her. And it was something that we shot in one day and
Mm.
delivered on the next day and posted.
It's crazy how when you like have such good direction of what you want, especially when you start from like that feeling and it's like okay, experience, how fast you can get things done because you want to get it done. You're like, oh, this is gonna
Yeah,
be so good. Um,
yeah.
as
And
a
that's
director,
what I was saying. Sorry, yeah, that's what I was saying before. If you wanna, you don't wait for the opportunity. Go do something. If you want to show an emotion, just go film. This was done. Well, of course, this was shot on a like red Komodo, okay, but like you can shoot out anything, on a
yeah,
potato and edit it, in a cool way. So you just go for it, and make these like little films.
as a director, because like there's obviously so much emotion in this. The one that stands out is him pounding his chest, boom, 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 and slapping himself. Is that all you? Are you telling him this is how you feel? This is what can you give me this emotion? Can you hit yourself and just see how that feels? And can you do it in a variety of different ways? What's your call as a director in something like this?
As a director, you always have to guide your actor. And I work from professional actors to colleagues and friends who never acted.
Yeah.
And a lot of videos that you see where you're like, wow, this acting is incredible. It's not a professional actor, it's just me seeing the correct moment and the correct acting. And the most important thing is when you work with an actor, you need to explain your idea to them. You need to give them a backstory. You need to explain the emotion. So each video that I do has a different emotion, and I really need to explain what kind of emotion. In this case, for example, this video, he's shouting, but it could be very different. He's shouting why? You gotta ask yourself, what's the backstory? Is he sad? Is he angry? Is he desperate? Where is the shouting? Like, what is
Mm.
the kind? What is the origin? In this case, we have a backstory. He broke up with this girl. And so what happened? Is he missing her, or he's angry about it? In this case, I told him, you're nervous. So I want you to be nervous about it. have you done the correct choice, you know? So the acting should be like this. You're nervous, you're not sure, but you know you've done the wrong thing, you went the wrong path. So you want to let it all out because there's nothing you can do, you know? That's it. Like you lost it and you did the wrong choice. And he's letting it all out because he's stressed, he's holding it inside, and then he just lets it out. So this is the emotion that we have here in the track. I don't belong here, I'm a creep. Basically explains, like this feeling of not belonging in the right place and not liking himself and being all like I explained. I remember I was with the actor and I told him something is eating up inside you, it's just this like dark, thing that you have that's like eating you inside and it hurts and it's killing you and you're like moving, you don't know what's happening, like it's inside you and you need to let it out,
Yeah.
and this is what happened, and of course, like I wouldn't be able to show this emotion if I haven't felt it myself in
Yourself.
life. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
is a thing that I've experienced and I know how it feels. And um, now I can show it for different short videos and maybe sometime, share my story.
I love that we talk about emotion so much and like just showing your experience as a director and why you're so good is because the direction you're giving the actors is a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly I feel like the whole podcast, all we've been talking about is like it's gotta come from a feeling. You gotta experience life so you could experience feelings, so you could make art to share the feelings. And then like you just directing. It's like if you wouldn't know what this felt like if or you wouldn't know how to
Yeah.
direct someone if you didn't feel that way. Like how do you convey that to someone? So it's just so cool to understand and see it.
That's the thing, when you experience these different things, I think you can apply them on all your work
Mm-hmm.
later on, starting from like commercial work to like personal projects, even like the videos that we did like with Mr. Beast or with I Show Speed or any other like more commercial work, these videos do have an emotion that we wanted to portray. Like going back to, uh
Yeah.
the Beast one, more commercial, showing the venue, but each project has its concept behind it, in a way that like each project has a feeling. This is the feeling of the Beastland where we're trying to show. This is a little teaser, so it's just like a little cut from the video.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
video
yeah.
itself is like 2 minutes, but I cut down the best scenes and basically we wanted to show this gaming life, leadership and like just an opening event. So every video is different and even if you go to the video that we had with Six Kings Land, the tennis one above, yeah, with this one, the motion is there because you're hooked in the game, you're in this world. Like I said, we created a world, that
Uh-huh.
the audience can experience, like the match, the hooks, the sound effects, the slow motions. Like Bram did an insane job with the editing, with
Yeah. You guys
Matthew the
killed this.
3D. Yeah, it was a great
Oh,
teamwork, I think.
yeah.
And
Hey, if you guys
th-
also want to see this, we actually did a full podcast on this video with these guys, which was amazing. I'll link it down below. But yeah, these guys
yeah,
went in
yeah.
depth.
No, yeah, and I think this is the thing. We were like, it's a great team, um, and it's amazing because everyone has their own, feeling they want to share, whereas the 3D artist has their own, vision and feeling. The editor, sees one thing. Me as the creative director, I have my own input, and we all like share our emotions and ideas and make something together,
Yeah, this is great. I appreciate you coming on and jumping on and talking about this. Yeah, there's just so much. I'm excited
No
for
worries.
people to like cut it up and edit it, and for people to see it. And I'm excited for your, the content you have coming out. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. I'll hit you up in the next couple weeks, and then yeah, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out from there.